Welcome. My name is Trisha Picaro. I am the publisher of 110 Degrees Magazine, and I am going to begin our Women in Wellness series. And I have my guest here, Melissa Kirk. She is with Rebuild Your Health Naturally. She has a Facebook group, and we are going to be discussing a few questions that I have for her about healthy eating. And if you'd like to keep watching us, stay tuned. Some of the questions I have are, what's the difference between the different types of diets? Which one's for me? What's the difference between eating clean or detoxing or cleansing? And should we be taking supplements? So let's start with our very first question, which is, there are so many different diets out there: keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian. Which one is right for me, Melissa?
Yeah, it's very confusing. So that's what happens when my clients come to me. They can be doing all different types of diets, but they don't really understand what the difference is between the foods that they're eating. So basically what you have to understand is how the nutrition works. And when you're doing the Whole30 and like a paleo diet, they're cutting out the keto diet. They're cutting out fruit. So we need fruit in our diet, and that's the fuel that our body actually craves. That's what feeds the brain. That's what gives us energy, is sugar.
And vitamins, obviously.
And vitamins. But the sugar, we need the sugar, we need the glucose. That's what keeps our body going.
Okay.
So many people are focused on high protein, and we really don't need that much protein. And who told us that we needed all this protein? It's all propaganda. If you look back, you know, that's a marketing thing.
Okay.
It's no different than when we used to be told all the time how milk does a body good. You know, most people now are aware that dairy is not so good. They may still eat it, but people don't think it has the same nutritional value that we used to think, you know, 20, 30, 40 years ago. The same things happened with how much protein we need. People are way saturated with protein, and our bodies really can't process all that protein. And the best protein source is actually from your vegetables. You know, where does the protein come from that's in the meat? It comes from what the cows are eating.
Gotcha.
And they're getting the protein.
And they're not eating meat.
They're not eating meat. So there's lots of protein in the vegetables, but it's the right kind of protein. And we need a bigger balance of the glucose. That's what fuels the body.
And then what about keto? Because that is like the hottest diet right now.
Yeah. So what I encourage my clients to do is go get your lab work done. When you start a keto diet, if you're sold on the fact that, or some people tell me their doctors told them, but you know, doctors don't really get a lot of training in nutrition. So they're trained in pharmaceuticals. They're trained in how to prescribe and treat symptoms, right? They are not trained in how to heal the body and how to eat properly. So get your lab work done, because I guarantee you in 6 weeks, your cholesterol levels are going to be way higher when you're doing a keto diet. The body cannot handle that much fat. And that's a majority, the keto diet is majority of fat. And yes, you may be feeling better and you may be losing weight, but it doesn't mean that it's healthy. You know, just because if you have mold in your kitchen and your cabinets look terrible, just because you come in and seal up the mold and paint over the cabinets, it may look better, but it doesn't mean you fixed it. And that's the same thing the keto is doing. It isn't fixing the problem that we're having in the health crisis today. Because more and more, you know, we have all this health information, all these new diets and all these things that people are doing. But what's happening? Everyone is getting fatter and sicker. People are not getting better. They aren't feeling good, or even if they're getting thinner, they have aches and pains. I mean, I'm working with my clients all the time and they do not feel good. They're not sleeping. There's all kinds of problems, and it's really coming from not eating the proper nutrition.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me get to our next question. So what is the difference between eating clean, detoxing, or cleansing?
So when you're eating clean, so for a long time, you know, I've been studying this stuff for the last 10 years, all the nutrition and how the body works and how to heal the body and things like that. And I was eating a pretty clean diet, but there's a specific recipe you know, if you start eating clean, if you start right today and you cut out a bunch of the foods that are detrimental to your health, you will stop the progression of whatever's going on. You will stop the progression of the disease, but you are not going to reverse it.
Okay.
So it's basically, you know, maintaining what you have.
Okay.
If you really want to start reversing what's going on, and I'm working with my clients to get them off their medications,
Yeah.
to get them back to where they were 10 years ago when they were feeling good. That doesn't happen by clean eating. That happens by detoxing and rebuilding the body.
Okay.
So that's what I'm teaching people how to do, but there's a specific formula. And the way that, you know, maybe one of the best ways to understand that is you can have all the ingredients when you go to make a cake. You can get all the ingredients for the cake. But if you don't do things in the right sequence, you are not going to get a cake that you were thinking. You know, if you put all the ingredients together, mix it up, bake it, but then realize you forgot the eggs and crack the eggs on top.
Yeah.
You
Gotcha.
have all the ingredients in there, but it isn't going to be, it's not going to be a delicious cake because you didn't do it in the right sequence.
Gotcha.
So that's what I'm helping my clients to understand is what foods are doing what, based on your conditions and symptoms, what things will add to it and what things will fix it.
Wow. Okay.
And how to reverse and address these things from, you know, a core level, getting to the root problem, not just treating symptoms. Right now, the medical industry is really just working on treating symptoms. They don't explore the cause of things. They don't really want to reverse things. And the next thing you know, you start out with 1 or 2 medications, and 5 years later, you've gained weight, you feel worse, and now you're on 10 medications with 5 more diagnoses.
Yeah.
So it's really, you know, the system is not set up to create health and solve the problem. Yeah. So that's what I'm helping my clients to really get that information that they can be empowered with to really turn things around for them.
Okay, well, let me get to my last question now. And that is, should we be taking supplements and why?
So a lot of our food used to have the minerals and vitamins and things that we need to be healthy and to create a proper gut balance and to create the healthy ecosystem. You know, we're full of pathogens, and when that system gets out of balance, when you've got a higher load of bacteria, higher load of virus or parasites, whatever you've got going on in the gut health, you know, there's so many digestive problems now, IBS or, you know, SIBO, there's celiacs, all these intolerances or leaky gut, Crohn's, all these things are an imbalance in that ecosystem. Okay. And when you don't have the proper minerals like zinc, our food is very deficient in zinc now, magnesium, calcium, there are things that used to be in the soil that is no longer in the food that we're eating. Mm-hmm. So there are things to do. I like taking tinctures when I'm taking zinc or I'm taking a lot of these different supplements, you know, that you can take natural antibiotics like cat's claw or lemon balm. What's a tincture? A tincture is a liquid form of the mineral or vitamin, and it comes with a drop. It's in a drop bottle with a dropper. Mm-hmm. But you want to make sure you get a high quality and one that's alcohol free. You do not want alcohol in any of your vitamins. So that's my favorite form, but you can take teas, you can take pills, there's, you know, capsules and things. I don't care for the capsules because then you've also got the capsule itself that the body is processing. It's not beneficial to the body. So I like taking the tinctures, but you know, they don't always taste great either. So, but depending on the thing that you have going on, you may need some additional help outside of just your food. Because it's not in the food. A lot of the things we need, the nutrients aren't in the food anymore.
Okay, wonderful. Well, great information, Melissa. I appreciate you sharing that with all of us. And if you'd like more information, you can feel free to private message Melissa. Again, that's Rebuild Your Health Naturally. And what do they get when they private message you? They get to join the group? How does that work?
So you can just go on, if you look up Rebuild Your Health Naturally, it's a closed group, and you can just send a request to join.
Okay,
and there's lots of resources and information. You can ask me questions in there, and there's, you know, a lot of support, a lot of good nutritional information.